Game's up, Llewellyn. I arrest you for the murder of John Russell and Mary McClure at 150 Liberal Street, Liverpool, on the night of January the 1st, 1935. I have to warn you that anything you say, etc., etc., etc. I've been after you for 5 years for this, and I may say that this is a moment that affords me the greatest personal pleasure. Just as I was waiting for the handcuffs...
Just a minute, Chief. How many L's are in Llewellyn?
4. But you tell me you've only got as far as Llewellyn?
I've only got 2 fingers.
Now, Mr. Pip never passed you out. I'm blowed if I know.
Inspector Blow. Inspector Blow been in?
No. Then, throwing caution to the winds, I leapt on him single-handed.
Single-handed?
Well, go on. You know how to spell single-handed, don't you?
Yes, but you weren't single-handed, Chief. I was with you.
Well, it's as good as being single-handed.
Yes, but it was me that leapt on him. From behind.
Look here. Whose life story is this?
Yours, Chief. I mean, fair's fair. After all, I've given you the best years of my life, and the only time you've mentioned me up to page 298 was that time when the bulldog tore a piece out of my trousers.
Well, that showed you all to advantage, didn't it? Anyway, will this satisfy you? 10 minutes later, help arrived in the shape of Sergeant Bingham, and the Saffron gang was finally rounded up.
Thanks, Chief.
Not that you did make any difference. Well, now we come to the last chapter. We'll leave that blank for the moment, but we'll head it the 5th column.
The 5th column?
That's what I said.
But you haven't had anything to do with the 5th column?
No, but I'm going to. Listen to this. The Minister of Home Security today assured the government that the best brains in Scotland Yard will shortly be engaged to combat the menace of the 5th column in this country. Here, my boy. Inspector Hornleigh's next case.
Yes, but it hasn't even mentioned you, Chief.
No, but it says the best brains, and that narrows it down. Now, let's see, there's Jenkins in Yorkshire, Brown in Ireland. That leaves...
Morning, Inspector Blow.
Good morning. Still working on the life story for Titbits, I see. I thought of a good title for it yesterday.
Oh?
Yes. Whopping Tales of the Yard.
I'll treat that remark with the contempt it deserves.
Anything else, Chief?
No. There's an unsympathetic influence in the room.
Well, I'll just head up the new 5th column chapter, and then I'll leave it at that, eh?
5th column? How does 5th column figure in the fairy tales?
It hasn't yet, but it's going to, eh?
Oh, and who said you were going to be assigned to the 5th column case?
A little dicky bird.
Oh, I should bring that little Dicky Bird's neck if I were you, because he's singing the wrong tune.
I suppose you think you're going to get the job, eh?
Never mind, Hornleigh. Anyway, how could they waste a man like you on a job like that?
Why not?
Well, who's going to take care of the bottle parties?
Well, I'll practically clean those up, you know that?
Yeah, with the exception of the one where Bingham goes every night.
Well, he hasn't found any evidence yet.
No, but he's found a nice little fan dancer.
Is that right?
No, it's not.
Inspector Hornleigh.
Yeah?
The Commissioner wants you.
Oh?
He's got half the Army High Command with him.
Has he, though? Oh. Well, I shouldn't worry, Blow, old man. You'll have plenty of time to spare. I'll hand over that little joint for you to clean up. And if you talk to Bingham nicely, he might give you her phone number. Oh, Bingham.
Sir?
You can leave in that bit about the 5th column.
Right you are, Chief.
The fact is, this petty scrounging has reached such proportions that it's costing the army thousands a year. What we've got to do is to set an example. If we can catch 1 or 2 of the culprits, it'll have a salutary effect on the others.
Ah.
You sent for me, sir?
Brigadier Lloyd, Major Harvey of the War Office, Inspector Hornleigh.
How do you do, gentlemen?
I've got a rather unusual case for you, Hornleigh. The War Office are concerned over certain Army activities which are proving rather more widespread than we imagined. Now, what we thought...
I think I know what you mean, sir.
Oh?
Well, one reads the papers.
Well, the papers only touch on the fringe of it, I'm afraid.
Quite. But a detective can read between the lanes.
I'm glad you appreciate its importance. As I was telling the Commissioner, this is not just a case of a few tins of strawberry jam.
Eh?
This sort of thing's going on in camps all over the country, you know.
I beg your pardon?
These depredations from army stores.
Scrounging, Hornleigh.
Scrounging? But you mean to say this has nothing to do with the 5th column?
5th column? Whatever put that into your head? Inspector Blow was assigned to that case last week.
Blow?
As an ex-officer, it shouldn't be difficult for you to get into the run of things again.
Are you listening, Hornleigh? The idea is that you should join the army.
What, me?
Yes.
What, at my age, after all my years of...
Temporarily, of course. We'll do our best to see you're comfortable.
Well, it's more than I was last time. Still, if you're offering me a commission...
I'm afraid that is hardly the idea. By joining the ranks and mixing with the men, you'll have a better chance of contacting the offenders.
The ranks? Struth. Step out. What's the matter with you?
Tired out.
Well, we're all tired out. But we're not grumbling about it.
But I've been carrying these things for the last 6 miles. By the time there was a changeover.
All right, we'll have a changeover.
Huh?
Put the gun on your right shoulder. That'll leave your left hand free to carry the other stuff.
I'm going to resign.
You're not. You've been put on this job and you're going to stick it out.
So what have we done in the case? We've been 10 days here, marching, drilling in Dublin. And all we've got to show for it is blistered heels and fallen arches.
Well, you'll have to prop up your arches, my lad. It's Kandahar Day tomorrow.
It's Kandahar Day.
A field day. A 12-mile march with full pack, followed by a 3-mile attack over open country. Then some bombing and bayonet work. And if we're lucky, a band to play us home to bed.
I won't do it. I won't do it. British Army or no British Army. I'm going sick.
You'll do nothing of the sort. If you start going soft now, you'll give the game away.
Yes.
If I can stick it, you can. And if you go sick, you'll have more than the British Army to answer to. You'll have to answer to me. Going sick.
You blokes for the sick parade, file in here.
Cool, blimey, we're well out of that lark, eh? Both perishing while we're full pack.
Come along now. On parade, you. Double up. What's the matter?
All right. I don't think I feel very well, Sergeant. In fact, I think I'll go sick.
You can't go sick now. 7 o'clock in the morning's the time to go sick. Get on parade.
Run along now. You heard what the day sergeant said.
Private Lee.
Coming.
Well, what's the matter with you?
It's my blistering feet, sir. I've worn the tread off them.
And when Lord Roberts made his historic march to Kandahar, it was the proud boast of this regiment that not a man fell out. Today is the anniversary of that great event. And in view of the excellent march you carried out yesterday, I propose to celebrate today by granting leave to the whole regiment till midnight.
Beers, please.
2 beers?
Yes, I'm having one for a sick friend.
Oh, well. Here's one to be going on with. Oh, you're not doing so bad. £1 note on a Friday. Gentleman opinions, eh?
What do you think?
Well, bookie, perhaps.
Certainly not. Suppose now to tell you that I was one of those chaps that scrounge stuff out of army stores and sell it outside.
Come on, you're having me on.
I said supposing. You've got many of them in here?
Can't say I've met anyone.
Just wondering. There's a lot of scrounging going on, you know.
So I hear. Why they don't do something about it beats me.
Perhaps they are.
The military police? Not them. All they catch is drunks.
Found this stuff littered all over the floor.
How much is missing?
Can't say yet, but it's all new stuff, though. Only came in yesterday.
None of it issued, eh? That should help.
Consignment of pants, all sizes. Tinned pilchards.
Ever had that brand before?
No.
Hey, what's it got to do with you?
Yes, what are you doing here, anyway?
Reported for light duty from the medical officer.
Then keep your nose out of things that don't concern you. Count up what's left in those cases, and don't make any mistakes.
Very good, sir.
Blowing sauce.
Right.
Did you get any time off?
After we close, till we open again.
Or am I taking a punt and having a watercress tea with me up there?
You're not backward in coming forward, are you?
Oh, what do you say?
All right, then. 2:30 outside.
That's a deal. But on one condition.
What's that?
That you let me pay my share. Yes? Yes. Francis.
What's bitten you?
What a marvellous time, Chief. I've been out with a wee lassie. Look, here she is. Not bad, eh? Only 6 for 3.
To Baldy, with love from Daisy.
I'm taking her to the pictures tomorrow. The half day. My father's a Presbyterian, too. My father keeps an ironmonger shop.
And listen, I don't want to hear our life history. While you've been making yourself ridiculous, I've been getting on with the job. And now you can help me. I'm onto something.
Yeah?
Yeah. Here's some salvers of stuff that was pinched last night. And if we can find any of it around here, we'll know who knocked it off.
Yes, but they might have come by it innocently.
Well, the stuff hasn't been issued yet. Now, come on, step lively before they come back. Now, you know what you're looking for? Gents' underpants, large size, filchards, and carbolic soap. Now, you take this side.
Okay, Chief.
I've been through the hut next door, but I drew a blank.
It was understood that we were only pretending to do this.
Yes, we understood and the colonel understood. The sergeant major's a bit slow in the uptake. Don't worry, you're playing then. Give us an handkerchief, you clumsy flatfoot. Come on. There's only 8 more.
Morning, Hornleigh. Still looking for clues, eh? Ooh! Ooh! I always said there were no flies on Hornleigh, but... Oh, I take all that back now.
What are you doing down here?
Come away from your clues and I'll tell you.
Have you come down here to make trouble?
I've come down here to see you two.
Us?
You mean you want us to help you with your case?
I do.
Why?
Because there are certain things, Hornleigh, of which you have special knowledge.
Well, I never expected you to admit that, Blow.
We knew they'd get into a mess as soon as we left the yard.
What's your difficulty? We're very busy, you know.
Yes, I can appreciate that. Well, we discovered that information is being coded to Germany.
Well, nothing unusual in that, is there? Shortwave transmitter, I suppose.
Yes, and what is more, we've discovered the code.
And now all that's missing is the shortwave transmitter and the blokes who are running it.
That's right, but unfortunately they never broadcast from the same place twice.
What do you want us to do? Consult the stars for you?
Oh, no, I'm not interested in your usual methods of solving crime. What I want to know is how they got hold of a certain piece of information when there were only half a dozen people in the know.
Well?
And you were 2 of them.
Us?
Yes, listen to this. Among other interesting items broadcast to Germany last night was this tidbit. 2 Scotland Yard men named Inspector Hornleigh and Sergeant Bingham are now carrying out secret investigations at Huplow Camp.
What do you mean to say it's been sent back to Germany?
It has, and I want to know who's been doing the unveiling.
Now, look here, Blow, let's get this straight. Are you accusing me of a breach of confidence?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just making inquiries.
Well, it amounts to the same thing. If anybody's been talking, it's certainly not me.
All right, well, I'll take your word for it, Hornleigh. And what about you, Bingham? Have you been talking in your sleep?
Did I take exception to that remark?
So do I. And what's more, I object to you coming down here criticizing my staff.
I'm not criticizing your staff. It's beyond criticism. I'm asking a simple question.
Well, you had the answer. Just because some brass head shoots off his mouth in his club, you try to pin it on Bingham. He's worked for me for 15 years, and I know that he's incapable of doing such a thing.
All right. I must explore every avenue.
Will you explore some avenue down Whitehall Way?
Yes, and don't leave any stones unturned.
Okay. Hello.
Come on now. Who did you tell?
Me? Oh, now here, Chief, you don't think that
Yes, I do think. Come on now. Out with it. Who was it?
Well, it was that wee lassie, Daisy.
I might have guessed it.
Oh, but she's a nice girl, Chief.
They're all nice girls. Martha Hardy was a nice girl. Well, what did you tell this bird?
Nothing, Chief. She guessed.
Don't lie to me.
But it's true, Chief. She said that I looked like a detective.
Well, that's the biggest lie of the lot.
I don't mind you laughing at my expense, but I tell you that Daisy's absolutely innocent.
But after going out with you in a punt? Well, supposing she's innocent, she can still talk?
No, not Daisy.
What is she?
Barmaid.
God, lummy. Why, the public information bureaus. Oh, by the way, did I hear you say you were taking her to the pictures this afternoon?
I was, until you landed me into this mess.
Well, you're still taking her. I'll fix it up with the Colonel.
What, do you mean that I can say? What do you want me to do?
Well, ask her who she passed the glad news on to, of course.
Oh, here, that'll be very awkward, Chief.
Well, it'll be more awkward if you don't.
I've lived in the seas for so long. How could I hope to be a success in New York?
Can't I teach you, Rollo?
Then what would become of Bobo or Mara the elephant? Every night as the sun sets, I sing you to sleep with a lullaby.
It's sinking now, Rollo.
Daisy?
Yes, Percy?
Gosh, I was longing for you to call time, gentlemen, please, this afternoon.
Were you really? Don't she look lovely in her saddle?
Not half as lovely as you'd look at one, Daisy.
Think so?
Just picture it, bending over the beer pools.
Come on. What would the customers say?
Daisy,
What?
remember when I told you yesterday about me and another chap, Hornleigh, big from Scotland Yard?
Well,
You didn't kind of mention it to anybody, did you?
of course I didn't. Hey, what are you getting at?
Nothing, Daisy. I know you're not the sort to chatter, but... Well, somebody's been talking.
Are you hinting that I've been speaking out of turn?
I didn't say you, I said somebody.
Well, you meant me.
Here, little order, please.
You've got no right to go making suggestions like that. Let me tell you, I've got enough to do in my job without gossiping.
Yes, I know that, Daisy. But you might have passed it on innocent like.
I did not.
Here, turn it up, will you? You're not in the bar of the Rose and Crown now, you know.
There you are, you see. This is all your fault. Go in. Why? Take your hands off me, you insulting beast. Get out of here.
Quiet.
What's going on along here?
Don't blame me, blame him.
Hey, you, come on out. Don't want none of that there here.
I assure you there's been none of that here.
Come on, you heard what he said. Oh, him to the perfect nuisance.
We'll be cut right out. Your monkey tricks again.
Can I help it if my sister becomes hysterical?
Oh, come on, now.
Good afternoon, Miss Johnson.
Good afternoon. I'd like to see Mr. Wilkinson.
You didn't make an appointment, did you?
No, but one of my back teeth is aching again. Something awful.
I think you'll find that quite all right. I shouldn't bite on it for a couple of hours, though.
Thank you.
Miss Johnson, I don't remember
No,
making...
Mr. Wilkinson, it's my back tooth again. You must look at it.
I see. Would you mind, madam? I won't keep you one moment.
Quite all right.
Very well. Please step inside.
Charles? I've laid out your dinner jacket. Don't forget you're dining at the club at 8.
Oh, yes.
I'm going over to Penrith to have dinner with Mrs. Sherwood. We'll probably play bridge, so I may not be back till 8.
Goodbye, my dear.
Oh, don't forget to black out. I expect you'll be in first.
I won't forget. Why have you come here today? Your next appointment was Tuesday. Do you want that girl to suspect?
I had to come. He's rumbled.
Who?
That yard man, Bingham, that I was telling you about. Did you pass it on?
Of course.
Well, they found out somehow. He questioned me this afternoon and said someone had been talking. Phew, I'm scared stiff.
Where is he now?
I left him in the pictures.
You sure he didn't follow you?
Positive. What am I going to do? Supposing they come and question.
Deny everything. They've no evidence. And don't come here again. I'll contact you as soon as it blows over.
Yes, but...
Now, look here. Pull yourself together. There's nothing to be afraid of. Come on. It often aches like that after filling, you know. It'll be quite all right tomorrow, believe me.
I hope so.
Now, madam, if you please.
Thank you. Come along, Yvonne.
It's It's nearly 6 o'clock. Have I an appointment with this gentleman?
No, sir, but he was anxious to wait on the off chance of seeing you.
My bridge work needs overhauling, and I wondered if...
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't manage it now. My hours are 3 to 6, and I have an engagement this evening.
Well, perhaps I could come back later.
I'm sorry. My engagement is for the whole evening. Besides, I never see patients out of hours.
Oh, if that's your attitude, I'll take my business elsewhere. There are plenty of other dentists in the town who'll be only too glad to do a little bridge work after 6 o'clock. Good day to you, sir.
How do you know there's no one at home?
He told me he had an engagement. There's also a Mrs. Dentist, but she's out playing bridge.
Any servants?
One. Female. I went round the back and checked up. You're not the only one who's a success with women. I made an appointment to meet her at the Palais de Danse tonight. Yeah. That's got rid of her.
Sounds a very mean trick to me.
Well, she was married. It serves her right. Ah, this is it. That's surgery. Now let's see what's over here. Draw those curtains. There's his appointment book. We'll have a look at that.
Still don't see why you should suspect Daisy just because you got toothache when she left me.
I agree it'd be a natural emotion. What's her surname?
Johnson.
Johnston. And you shut your mouth off to her yesterday lunchtime.
But she couldn't have seen him yesterday. She was on the river with me until 5 o'clock.
And at 5:30 she visits the dentist. Look for yourself. Every time she sees you, she rushes straight to the dentist.
But there's any number of ways of explaining that, Chief.
There's only two I know of. Either she's what I think she is, or the way you kiss them knocks their teeth in. Yeah. She was here twice last week. Once the week before. 3 times the week before that. Yes, a fellow called Weatherby sees the company often, too. And Mrs. Crofter. There's your Daisy again.
Supposing you're right. You can't prove anything with that book.
Well, we might find something in that safe to tie up with it.
What safe?
Over there.
The twin lock Hector.
Easy. That'll be a burglar alarm wire running around the rim. Cut it.
There you are. That little fellow won't talk.
Comes him, but you cut the wrong wire.
The doorbell. The dentist. Maybe he's forgotten his key.
Why should he ring? He knows there's nobody at home. Here, go and see who it is.
But suppose...
Go on, go on, go on. Go on.
Is your name Wilkinson?
No.
Mine's Blenkinsop.
Oh?
I want to see Mr. Wilkinson.
Why?
Why, what do you think I come to dentists for? Have a haircut? I want a tooth out.
Eh? Oh, I'm afraid that's impossible.
Oh, don't talk so daft.
Sorry, but at this time of night...
At this time of night I've been in bed and fast asleep. I had that raging toothache. I tell you, I'm not going till I see dentist here. Come on, fetch him out.
Well, now, if you'll just sit down for a minute, I'll make some inquiries.
All right, but look sharp.
That's a patient, Chief. Says he wants a tooth out.
What, at this time? Perhaps he's one of their agents.
Doesn't look like one.
Well, how do you know? Take him in the surgery and pump him.
How?
Well, say that you're Wilkinson's assistant. That you're in his confidence.
Yes, but I think he really does want a tooth out.
Well, you never know. Perhaps he's bluffing. Go
Well,
I'm sorry, but Mr. Wilkinson is asleep.
I can't
It's
help it.
all right. I'm his assistant, and anything you wish to have out, you can have out with me.
All right, that suits me. Well, where's surgery?
Surgery.
Yes. Is this it? Here, come on.
Yes, that's the surgery.
Well, come on, don't hang about. Here, take this.
Sit in the chair, sir, please, will you? Now, let me see. Nice evening, isn't it? Fine for getting shortwave broadcasts.
I don't want any shortwave broadcasts, and I don't care if it's raining cats and dogs. I want this tooth out.
Let me say that I enjoy Mr. Wilkinson's full confidence.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it. Shall I open my mouth now?
Yes, certainly. You can tell me anything you want. You really want it out?
Hey, what's the matter with you? You non-compass mentors or something?
You've been here before, haven't you?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, we just make it a rule only to attend to regular customers after closing time.
Oh, dash it all, do you think I'm going to suffer all night for your silly rules? Here, are you going to take it out, or do I have to take it out of you?
Your mind's made up.
Oh, it's dawned on you.
Right, just wait there a minute, please.
Where are you off to now? Oh, what is this, a dentist or a madhouse? Here, are you going to take this thing out?
All right, it's coming out. Just a minute. Which tooth did you say it was again? Your top teeth are pretty good.
They're false, you fathead.
Oh, so they are. I see that now. They quite took me in for a minute.
You want the plate out?
No, just the tooth. Right. Just open your mouth a little wider, please, will you?
Hey, wait a minute. You're not going to take it out in cold blood, are you? Can't have a local anaesthetic.
Oh, I'm afraid Mr. Wilkinson always locks up everything like that.
Hey, what's that over there? Is that a gas apparatus or not?
Yes, that's gas.
All right, then I'll have gas.
Quite sure. This is after effects, you know.
Compared to what I'm suffering, the after effects will be a pleasure.
Hope you're right.
Now what's to do? Are you going to give me gas or not?
I am.
I should hope so, too. I'm sick of sitting here waiting. Must have cracked my jaw.
No. Something went, but I don't think it was that.
It must have given me too much gas. I feel very faint.
Here, come on, come on. The fresh air will do you all the good in the world. I'll take you to a taxi rank and see you in that car.
Shh. There's nothing to shout about. Do you want to bring that dentist down here? What's happened to the patient?
He's gone. Took his tooth out. In fact, 2 of them.
What, do you want 2 out?
No, but I just gave a hefty pull and there they were. 2 of them. There's nothing in this business. It's money for jam. All you have to do is to turn on the gas.
What, did you give him gas?
Well, he demanded it. Look. 5 bob. Half a crown a tooth. Didn't want to pay for the other one, but the poor man was in no condition to argue.
I bet he wasn't.
Have you had any luck, Chief?
I have. Here. Look at that.
It's Daisy and me in the punt.
Turn it over.
Sergeant Bingham, CID. Where did you get this?
In the safe.
Can't believe it. You know, Chief, this sort of thing shatters your faith in women.
Well, you could do with a bit of shattering. Here, give it to me.
You're not going to put it back in there?
I am.
But if you find it, that'll make me look like an accessory.
Well, you will, won't you? Now then, we're going to leave this place exactly as we found it. Without anyone knowing we've been here.
Why, Chief? Aren't you going to arrest Wilkinson?
Not yet. You haven't left anything lying around in the surgery, have you?
No, I've got the teeth in my pocket.
I don't want to see them. Talk about a blooming cannibal. Curtains. Be Granny. You've left the light on. That's funny. I could have sworn I put it out. Struth, what have you done now?
It can't be my patient, Chief.
Oh, what's going to be? You... It's the dentist. Look, the gas is still on. He's a gunner.
Dead. This is awful. But I was here just a few minutes ago.
Must have happened when you were seeing your patient off, obviously.
Must have found out that we were here, decided he couldn't face it, and come down and gassed himself. I'd better phone the local police.
Wait a minute. Look at these. One shoe is laced across the usual way. On the other shoe, the top 3 holes are laced crisscross.
You can put your own construction on that, I suppose.
Well, no man laced his shoes different ways. Someone else put that shoe on his foot.
Why?
I don't know yet. But whoever did it may be still in the house. Wait here. No sign of anybody. I'm going to make a search of Wilkins' bedroom and see if I can find anything.
I'll come up with you, Chief.
No, you don't. We've got no time to lose. Here, take these. Ring up the yard. Give Blow my kind regards and read that list over to him.
What are they?
The names, addresses, and code numbers of Mr. Wilkins's so-called patients. Tell Blow, since he wants to know who's been talking, there's 40 of them.
Sorry for the delay, Sergeant. Inspector Blow's just gone out. They're expecting him back in 10 minutes. Shall I ask him to ring you back?
Yes, please. And it's very urgent.
Who's that? This is Mrs. Wilkinson speaking. I want to speak to Dr. Curbishley at once, please.
It's all right. No need to be alarmed.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
What are you doing in this house?
I'm here in connection with your husband.
He's dead.
That's right. You just sit down quietly for a few minutes. I can imagine how you're feeling.
Can you? I wonder. I should be awfully upset, shouldn't I?
Aren't you?
No.
You are Mrs. Wilkinson?
Yes. But we weren't what is called a happily married couple. You found out that he was a...
Yes.
I told him he'd get caught sooner or later. It was no use. They had some sort of hold on him.
Who are they?
I don't know. I shouldn't have known anything except that I found a letter of his.
What did you do?
I taxed him with it, and he flew into a rage and struck me.
He did?
Yes. Oh, that was nothing unusual. I said I'd go to the police, and he threatened to shoot me. What could I do? What would you have done?
I really don't know. It's very awkward for you.
Could I have a cigarette, Inspector, please?
Why, certainly, certainly. Now, I'm afraid I've got to ask you just a few questions.
You're not going to be brutal to me, are you?
No, that will hardly be necessary. But they'll expect a statement, and just as a mere matter of formality.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I shan't attempt to hide anything from you.
Thank you. Well, now, do you know what part your husband had in this organization?
None. But I'm sure it couldn't have been a very important one.
Oh, I'm afraid you're wrong there, my dear, Mrs. Wilkinson. As a matter of fact, I'm quite sure you are.
Well, what makes you say that?
Well, I have here the names and addresses of 40 of his patients, whom I have every reason to believe supplied him regularly with information.
But I can't believe it. Are you positive of that?
I found it in a book in his safe.
But if he's as important as all that, why did he take his own life?
He didn't. Somebody else took it. He was murdered.
Oh.
Here, Mrs. Wilkinson. What's the matter? Oh, pull yourself together. There. Mrs. Is that waters? Gosh. There. That's better now, isn't it? Here, drink this.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You'll be feeling better in a minute.
I can't stay the night here alone, Inspector.
Well, I'm afraid I'm on duty.
But I've got a sister who lives just round the corner. Couldn't I spend the night with her?
I'm sorry. I can't allow that.
I promise I wouldn't move from there.
No, you wouldn't. And if it rested with me, I'd let you do it like a shot.
But it does rest with you, doesn't it?
No, not exactly. You see, I haven't mentioned it before, but I've got an assistant, an associate.
There are two of you?
Yes. He's upstairs, and I'm afraid he'll want you to come to the police station.
Oh.
Drink.
Oh. I shall be all right. Oh, you answer it, Inspector. Don't worry about me.
Hello, yes? Oh, Inspector Blow. Yes, this is Bingham.
What are you ringing up at this hour for? I decided to confess after all.
Certainly not. No, as a matter of fact, it's not unconnected with your inquiries this morning. Well, now, Hornleigh and I decided that as you were floundering about to give you a bit of help. To put you in the right road, as it were. Huh? No, I must correct you there. My mother and father were married properly at the kirk at Paisley. And that remark comes very badly from you after all we've done. All right, if you'll just keep calm, I'll tell you. Well, I have here the names and addresses of about 40 people who have been passing information. Yes, if you'll just get out your little pencil and paper, I'll read them out to you. You ready? Just a minute, Blow. I think I've got a hold of the wrong piece of paper or something. Hold on. Mrs. Wilkinson. Mrs. Wilkinson. Mrs. Hello, Blow. Sorry, there's been a slight hitch. I'll ring you back. Mrs. Wilkinson. Mrs. Wilkinson. Maybe she's gone to her sister's. Gosh, oops. Mrs. Wilkinson. Mrs. Wilkinson.
Bingham! Oh, there you are. There's been some pretty rum goings on in this house, I'm telling you.
You're telling me?
What did you phone, Blow?
Yes, I phoned him.
What did he say?
Well, he didn't say anything, Chief, because...
Because what?
Look, you're quite sure you gave me that list, aren't you?
What are you blathering about?
That's all I've got, Chief. There's nothing on it.
Look here. What the blaze have you been doing while I've been upstairs?
Had it in my hand when I first phoned Blow.
Well, go on.
Well, he wasn't in, and so I put it back in my pocket. I know it was there when she came in because...
She?
Mrs. Wilkinson.
So she's here?
Well, she was here.
Was?
Yes. I'm afraid she's gone to...
Gone where?
Just through that French window.
Look here, you drunk as well as incapable?
Told her to stop here, but she must have slipped out when I was on the phone.
She's pinched the evidence.
But I think I know where we can find her.
Where?
At her sister's.
What's the address? Now listen to me, you big dome vacuum. Hasn't it dawned on you yet that woman was simply playing you for a sucker? Well, what happened then?
Well, I had just phoned Blow when the front door opened and I hid behind the curtains.
Yeah?
Well, she came in, saw the body and rushed to the telephone. She dialed the number and asked for the doctor.
What doctor?
Kerbishley. Or maybe Carbishley.
And then?
Well, she must have seen me behind the curtains because she screamed. So I stepped out.
And what did she tell you?
That her husband was a spy and that he used to beat her.
Yeah, and you sympathized with her?
Well, in a way.
God, lummy. The woman hasn't been a widow 5 minutes, but she's fair game to you. Then I suppose you told her about that list.
I did mention it.
I knew it.
She fainted.
Yeah, then you helped her onto the settee.
Yes.
And she pinched the list from your pocket. You went to fetch her some brandy.
Water.
And she switched the blank sheets back on you. It's as plain as a pikestaff. And there's no Kerbishley or Corbishley in the book.
But I'm sure it was Kerbishley.
You made about as big a hash of this as anything you've done in the whole of your misbegotten career. Here we are, working on a case which has nothing to do with us. You get hold of the star witness and let her go with all the exhibits.
Look, couldn't we just slip out like and not tell anybody we were here?
Well, after you phoned the yard, with the murdered man in the other room...
He may not have been murdered.
He was murdered. While you were mucking things up down here, I've been busy. Wilkinson was planning to run away to South America. Passports, permits, all in order. But somebody or other didn't want him to go. So they waited for him upstairs. He came in, was just changing to his slippers, and they nipped up behind him, laid him out, slipped his shoe on again, brought him downstairs, bunged him to that chair, and tried to make it look like suicide. How does that sound?
There doesn't seem to be anything missing.
No, except the clue to the murderer, that list of agents, and Mrs. Wilkinson. Apart from that, it's all sewn up.
Well, I suppose there's nothing else to do but hand it over to Blow and we go back to the gents' underpants.
Now, look here, I don't want to hear that defeatist talk. We're going to search this house from cellar to roof. Now, go on, you start outside. I'll start in here. And if there's a whiff of a clue, we'll smell it out. Hello, what's this? March the 12th. No address. My dear Wilkinson, I am sorry to hear you propose taking a holiday. I feel strongly that a journey would not be good for your health at the present moment. I must therefore urge you to cancel it. Yours, A.K.
Sounds like a letter from his doctor.
Sounds like. Of course it is. A.K. Kerbishley. The doctor she rang up. Yeah, and it doesn't exist. At least not in the phone book.
Well, he might be in another district, Chief.
He might. But this letter was posted at Upper Ellingford. And that's in this phone area. So that doesn't help. Continuation sheet. Now, who uses continuation sheets?
Offices?
Yeah, it doesn't look like office paper to me. No, more like hotel stuff. How many printers would there be at Upper Ellingford?
There can't be many. It's only a market town.
Good. Well, we're going to knock them up. There may be only half a dozen printers in the town, but a more bad-tempered lot I never saw.
You can't expect them to dance for joy when you get them up out of their beds in the middle of the night. Don't feel very happy myself.
Dragging a man from his rest at 3 in the morning to rake through a lot of notepaper. I ought to be compensated for this.
Oh, well, it's not your paper.
Yes, it is.
Oh?
Yes, I printed it for the Westgate Manor Hotel.
Westgate Manor Hotel, eh? Yeah, I told him it was hotel paper. Yes, it's the same, all right.
Of course it's the same. I printed him a brochure at the same time. Now you can clear out and I'll go back to my rest.
I sympathize with you.
Terms in season. Hello, it's a fishing hotel. Yeah, pretty posh from the prices. Bingham, we're going to get up early in the morning.
Eh?
We're taking a fishing holiday. It's time we got our hooks into something. Well, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Morning, boy.
Good morning, sir. You two gentlemen after the same vacancy?
Vacancy? What, are you full up?
Well, one day we are, the next day we're not. If I had my way, I'd give them mistresses and stop all this chopping and changing.
Hey, what about our luggage?
You brought your luggage with you? Optimists, aren't you?
You don't look very busy.
No, we're not now. They're all out on a paper chase.
You did say paper chase.
Yes. Got me up at 6:30 this morning. It's this new Mr. Rolfe's idea. He started all these capers. Mr. Jenkins was much more sensible, but he joined up 3 weeks ago along with Mr. Smart, the science master. I tell you, there have been so many changes here since the war started, I can't keep pace with them. You wait in here. But I might as well tell you, you're not the only ones after this history master's job. There's another old bloke in there already.
So it's not a hotel anymore. They've evacuated a blooming school here.
You know, Chief, I didn't like to mention it before, but, well, I never did think much of that crew of yours.
For once in a way, you were right. Cable College, Muswell Hill, London. Notice the prefix. All prefects must be responsible for the blackout of the dormitories. Dr. Alfred Curbishley, headmaster. A.K. We thought it was a medical doctor she rang up last night. But it was this fellow, a doctor of literature or something. This puts a new face on it, as the Duchess said when she had her dial lifted.
Yes, but I still don't see anything very sinister in that.
Well, it hadn't occurred to you, I suppose, that a woman who's just found her husband dead doesn't rush to ring up a schoolmaster.
Yes, it is a bit peculiar.
Now, this is where you earn your oats, my lad. Put that luggage back into the car and drive down to the town. Put up at the local hotel and find out all you can about the doctor. It's a small place and they're bound to know everybody's business.
What about you, Chief? Somebody's bound to ask what you're doing here.
Oh, I'll say I'm a new boy who's a bit backward. Now, go on, off you go. And don't forget, if there's a barmaid there, when she pours out your beer, don't pour out your soul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you an applicant?
Yes?
So am I.
Really?
My name's Mackenzie. Professor Alec Mackenzie.
How do you do? My name is Nuttall. Horace Nuttall.
How do you do? You may have heard of Mackenzie's History of Europe for schools.
Oh, yes, of course.
I wrote it.
Really? You haven't actually met Dr. Curbishley yet, I take it?
No, but I rather fancy that's just a formality.
Ah, well, I suppose there's no objection to my waiting.
No, not in the least. If it isn't a rude question, what was your last school?
Borstal.
Boston. Oh, yes. Boston. But I beg your pardon.
Borstal?
Yeah, but isn't that a penitentiary?
Yes.
But surely a qualification for a master at Borstal would hardly be a recommendation to this school.
On the contrary, my dear sir. I'm just the man for this school.
Why?
But they mentioned it in the advertisement, didn't they?
The school times gave me to understand that this was an establishment for the sons of gentlemen.
Was that what they said there were sons of?
Well, I hope I'm not here under any misapprehension.
Well, it's not as bad as Borstal, if that's what you mean. As a matter of fact, they frequently send their good conduct lads here.
But you seriously tell me this is a corrective school?
Oh, didn't you know?
I certainly did not.
Oh, there's nothing to be worried about, my dear Professor. You may find it a trifle alarming for the first 2 years, but you get used to it. Well, bless my soul, look who's here. If it isn't young Bingham. Now, there's a fine example of the good conduct lads they sent here. Oh, but they shouldn't let him have a knife.
Why not?
Well, he's a nice enough lad, but he has fits of violence. As a matter of fact, I remember once at Borstal, he attacked the carpentry instructor with a chisel.
Good heavens. You see...
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know there was anyone in here.
That's quite all right, my boy. What do you want?
A book, sir.
A book?
Yes, sir.
Help yourself, my son.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, let me help you. This one?
Yes, please, sir.
There we are.
Thank you, sir.
Not at all.
All this greatly perturbs me.
Hey, you! Hey! Give me that back. And don't forget you do anything like that again. You rascal.
What's happened?
Have you missed anything?
I beg your pardon.
This is yours, isn't it?
That's my watch. Good gracious me.
Ah, well, boys will be boys, you know.
Do you mean that he actually... oh, this is dreadful.
Well, you get used to that sort of thing here, you know.
Used to it? That's why you're mistaken. I wouldn't teach in this class of school for any consideration whatever.
What, you don't mean to say you're going to turn it up?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
And I'm very grateful to you for enlightening me.
Cheerio.
Professor Mackenzie?
At your service.
Will you come this way, please, Professor? Dr. Curbishley will see you now.
With pleasure.
pleased to have you here, Professor. Weston, the last man, was rather old-fashioned in his methods.
Oh, really? Well, you won't find anything like that about me.
Professor Mackenzie, sir. Dr. Kirby. How do you do, Professor? Welcome to Gable College.
How do you do?
You'll find us in strange surroundings, but tempora mutanta, nos et mutama in illis.
Yes, very apt.
Please sit down.
Yes.
I feel very honored that a man of your scholastic reputation should consider my little establishment worthy of his services.
Not at all, not at all.
How long were you at Hartborough?
Now, let me see now. It must be what? 15 years, if a day.
I see it says 20, huh?
20, was it? Oh, time does fly.
Dr. Swan speaks of you in the most glowing terms.
Yes, we got on very well together. I was very fond of the old Swan.
Well, I don't think we need discuss it any further. It seems most satisfactory to me. I take it the salary I mentioned in my letter is acceptable to you?
Under the circumstances, yes.
Oh, there is just one other thing, and it's rather important. Can you start at once?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I've got my luggage with me.
Really? Well, that removes that obstacle.
Right.
Well, I think you'll find it very pleasant here, Professor. Here, Mr. Jennings?
Oh, yes, indeed, sir.
I'm sure I shall.
It'll be an honor to have you teaching with us, Professor.
Hello, yes, Dr. Kirby speaking. Who? Well, I'm afraid I can't discuss it now. I'm engaged. I'll send you a school prospectus.
But I must see you. I've been trying to get you since last night.
Just a minute. Well, I think that's all for the moment, Professor. Mr. Jennings will show you to your study.
This way, please, Professor.
I've told you before not to ring me here. What is it?
But I had to get in touch with you. Something dreadful has happened. I can't very well tell you on the phone. I'm at the Angler's Rest in the town.
Well, you shouldn't have left Farnshire without letting me know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Doctor. But I wonder if you would let me have my testimonials back. I know you wouldn't mislay them, but I'd rather treasure them.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
You must realize it's impossible to talk now. I'll be down there at 9 this evening. Until then, stay in your room. Goodbye.
Could I have number 8, please?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I want a room, please.
Certainly, sir. Good to see the sun again, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Will you be staying here long?
A few nights, maybe.
You'll want a single room, I suppose.
That's right.
I've got a very nice room facing the river.
Hmm? Yes, but I think I'll have the single room.
Very good, sir.
Will you read it to me, or shall I read it to you?
You read it to us.
Oh, very well. Here we are. Evolution of the Corn Laws. The effect of the Industrial Revolution, connected with the mechanical invention and the utilization of steam, transformed Great Britain from an agricultural to a manufacturing and commercial country. Everybody understand that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, well, the opposition to the Corn Laws steadily increased. At length, the Conservative Premier, Sir Robert Peel, became a convert to free trade, and in 1846 carried a measure to put an end to the Corn Laws. By this act, the duty on corn was at once greatly reduced. And it ceased altogether in 1849, with the exception of a registration duty of 1 shilling per quarter, which terminated in 1869. You know, I don't know about you, but I find this a trifle dry.
So do we, sir.
I thought so. Well, now, but it does mention one very interesting man, Sir Robert Peel, the founder of our modern police force, and a very good job he made of it, too. As a matter of fact, if it hadn't been for him, we should never have had the highly efficient organization with its network of detectives, plainclothesmen, and coppers narcs, informers, that we have today. But still, I dare say that many of you boys, at one time or another, have wanted to be detectives. Yes, I thought so. But let me tell you that it requires more than muscle to make a detective nowadays. Oh, yes. I mean, you have to have powers of observation and deduction. Now, take observation, for instance. I very much doubt if there's a single boy here that could tell me whose card it was that went down the drain just now.
It's the head's car, sir.
How do you know that?
Because he always goes out at this time.
That's right.
Well, now, if he always goes out at the same time, it's probable that he always returns at a certain hour. Has any boy observed what time that is?
3 o'clock, sir.
What, every day?
Yes, sir, because he takes Latin at 3:15.
You're more observant than I thought. Well, now, let us see if you're as good at deduction. I'll give you a start. Now, if he always goes out at the same time, that is 2:30, and he's only gone for half an hour, it follows that wherever he goes can only be a quarter of an hour's car ride away. Probably less, since he must spend some time at his destination. Now, can any boy deduce where he goes in that time?
The village, sir.
What makes you think that?
Because I've seen his car there, sir.
That's right. Parked outside the post office.
I see. Still, that is observation, not deduction. Now, let us try and deduce what he does in the post office.
Excuse me, sir, but isn't that the headmaster's business?
I beg yours. Am I to take that as being tantamount to a rebuff?
Well, sir, I really meant that...
Don't apologize. You're quite right, my boy. It's no concern of us what he does in the post office. So as a quid pro quo, if I take my nose out of the headmaster's business, perhaps you'll stick yours in that book and read from where we left off.
What they're doing is they're butting in on a case that doesn't concern them. My case.
If you're right, I shall have something to say to Inspector Hornleigh and Sergeant Bingham. Laying down on this job without my permission. They better have a pretty good reason for this. Hello.
Oh, is that you, Chief? Well, I've stumbled across something very interesting. No. It's nothing to do with the scrounging case, but... Well, yes, I know, Chief, but... Yes, Chief. How much would your pension be worth if you retired tomorrow?
I don't know. Why?
Well, you better start working it out. Yes, that's quite true, Chief, but... But, Chief...
That's my last word. And I don't want any arguments. So you can just take the first train straight back to London. Murdered? Who's been murdered? Says that dentist didn't commit suicide. Now, have you any clue as to who's the murderer? You know? Then why didn't you arrest him? Now, that's got nothing to do with it. I told you before, that's Blow's case.
And tell him I resent his interference.
Who's talking to him, you or me?
Oh, you, sir.
Very well, then. Don't interrupt. Registered letter? What registered letter?
A registered letter is posted every day to 121 Wessex Street, London. And I want to find out what is going on there.
Tell them we think it's the headquarters of the whole outfit.
Now, look here. What with 2 of them jabbering at one end of the line and you hissing in my ear, it'd be quicker if I went to London after all.
Wessex Street is SW1, you know.
Now, don't you shove your oar in. 4 policemen is enough on one line without the help of the post office. No, Chief. Lord, let me... No. Now, all I want you to do is to get somebody competent to watch 121 Wessex Street until the registered letter arrives, and then pounce and catch the lot of them. And afterwards, ask them to ring up Bingham at Allingford 69, and I'll beg the murderer. Fine. Good night, Chief. Ooh. I could do with a drink after that. What about the post office?
Well, it's a bit late at night, but since it's been such an exciting day, I think I'll have a small whiskey and soda.
Bingham, order 2 a small whiskey, will you? I'll have a double.
Hello, miss. Ask the waiter to send up 2 double whiskies and 1 small one.
Sam, 1 whiskey and 2 doubles for number 2.
Right.
Oh, and find out what they want to eat. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I believe you have a Mrs. Sutton staying here. Would you be good enough to send out my card?
Yes, sir. Sam, take that card to number 8 on your way up, will you?
Very good, sir. Gentleman downstairs, hand it to him, miss.
Oh, thank you. You said you'd be here at 9 o'clock. It's nearly 10.
I know.
It's Carlson. He's dead.
I know. He was murdered.
So it was you who killed him.
You reported to me that he was about to clear off to South America. A man like that's not only useless, but dangerous.
Well, all I can say is you might have been a little more careful about it.
In what way?
It may interest you to know that whilst you were disposing of Carlson, there were 2 detectives in the house.
You sure?
I met one of them.
Did you find anything?
Only a list of our agents in the safe. You needn't be alarmed. I played the prostrate widow very successfully.
Well, I'll be getting along. I should have closed on my cucumber frame a couple of hours ago.
Well, thank you very much for your assistance, Mr. Tomboy.
A pleasure. Good night, Inspector.
Good night.
Good night, Sergeant.
Good night, Mr. Tomboy.
Hello? Is that you, Hornleigh? It's Blow here. I say, what sort of game are you playing? Oh, listen, I'm in Wessex Street now, and there is no 121. The highest number in the street is 75.
Hey, what are you talking... Here, hang on a minute, will you? Bring back the post office, will you? Quick.
Mr. Tomboy! Just a minute. Yes? He wants you.
Where's your registered letter book?
Here it is.
Well, you know what I want.
Yes.
Ah, here we are. Now, this can't lie. I've got the post office registered letter book here. Now, there's been a registered letter sent to Mr. E. Knight, 121 Wessex Street, practically every day for 3 months. I suppose you can count up to 121?
And I don't want any insults. You asked for someone to check up on this, and I've done it.
Yes, but I asked for somebody competent.
We are competent at the yard since you left, and I'm telling you there's no 121 Wessex Street, and there won't be till they pull down the houses of Parliament and make the street a bit longer. And why on earth don't you stick your strawberry jam instead of... Hello. Oh.
There's no such place as 121 Wessex Street.
But he sends a letter there every day.
There's no such place, I tell you.
But why would he send a letter to a place that isn't there? It doesn't make sense.
But look, 121 Wessex Street, written by my own hand.
Well, I don't care if you wrote it with your elbow. There are only 75 houses in Wessex Street, and 121 isn't one of them.
But if registered letters are not delivered, they come back to me.
And you never had any of them back?
Never. That's why I say if it's
take
written
that
there...
away. Now, that letter was handed in your post office this afternoon. Now, where would it be at this moment?
In a sealed bag at Northby, waiting for the night mail.
And where does the bag join the train? Lancaster?
No, about 10 miles before that, it's caught up by the automatic arm.
And where does the night mail start from?
Carlisle.
What time?
10:45.
10:05. Bingham, we're going to Carlisle.
What about the luggage, Chief?
Leave it.
I'll get you a passport, Helen, and you can go abroad to a neutral country. There must be one left somewhere.
Wait a minute. There's the detective who's in the house.
Which one?
The tall one.
The little fellow who they've got in tow is the village postmaster. And I was under the impression that the man with him was my new history master, and I appear to have made a mistake.
Suppose it was just a nominal charge for the room, seeing I haven't slept in it.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm afraid you'll have to pay the full price as you've used the room.
Here you're charging me for bed and breakfast, and I haven't it either.
Go on, pay up and don't argue.
Well, if it was my own money, I'd be adamant. Seeing it will go down in expenses or concede the point.
They must have found out I was here.
If they had, they'd hardly be leaving. No, I fancy they've something else on their minds.
Oh, can't you pocket it without counting the change for once? Come on, come on. Good night, Mr. Tomboy. Minute X again.
Aye.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Tomboy. I wonder if you'd mind obliging me. I know it's after post office hours and all that, but I should be very grateful if you'd break the rules and cash a money order for me.
Well,
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to the bank today.
Oh, certainly, Dr. Kirbishley, with the greatest of pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll run you down to the post office now, shall I?
Oh, thanks. Yes. Well, it's one of the registered letters for London. I made a mistake about the receipt. Got the addresses mixed up. If I could have it back, I could put it right in a few minutes. It's gone. Oh, very well. The registered letters have already left Northby for the mail train. It's too late to stop them now, Dr. Kirbishley. There's nothing I can do.
no reason to suspect any of your sorters, have you, Joe?
No. Of course, I can't say for certain. We keep getting new ones on as the young uns are called up.
But it wouldn't surprise anybody if somebody new came on tonight.
I don't follow you, Inspector.
For me, for instance.
Sorting isn't an easy job, you know. It's years before you're any good at it.
Well, you're short-handed and I'm no good at it. You can keep telling me so. Say you're going to give me the sack in the morning. That'll fool them.
It might work, Joe. What do you think?
I don't know.
It's got to work. Now, come on, you're the postmaster. Who can you substitute me for?
When's your Runcorn due for the call-up?
Any day.
Well, if we can stop him before he gets here, we can tell the rest he's had it.
What about me? Can't I be a sorter too?
No, you can't. You're going to be what you've always been, a passenger.
Hello. Send George in here, will you please?
Runcorn's been called up. He'll take his place.
Evening all. Job's the name.
He hasn't been on sorting for 5 years.
7.
But he'll be as good as some of you, I hope. Train's coming in now. Look lively there.
Sorry, late for dinner, John. Let's follow.
Hello. Foster.
Wanted on the phone.
Better hurry.
Hello? Yes?
I had to warn you, 2 detectives will be on the train tonight. No, if you're careful, it'll be all right. One of them's tall, bald, looks intelligent and isn't. The other one's short, with a sour face, doesn't look intelligent and is.
Has he got a heavy lower lip? Oh, well, I've seen him. He's the new sorter.
They're working fast. Listen, whatever you do, don't let him get hold of that letter. No, leave that to me.
I don't like the sound of it. I've got to go now.
Registered.
Beats me what people find to write about. No consideration for others, that's what it is.
You? What are you doing here? Good evening, Sergeant. Perhaps I should introduce myself. I'm the principal of your colleague's school. It was smart of you both to discover that I posted a registered letter this afternoon and to catch the train at Carlisle. But I've an idea. The inspector won't find that letter.
Oh? Why not?
Because you're going to write him a little note and ask him to come along here and see me first.
And you think I'd fall for a thing like that, eh?
Well, I'm hoping to persuade John.
Suppose you know it's a very serious thing to point a gun at me like that.
For you or for us?
For you, of course. I know all about you. You've both got to answer a few questions.
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but as a schoolmaster, I prefer to put the questions. And at the moment, I'm asking you to write that note to Hornleigh.
You think I'd do that?
I should if I were you.
Over my dead body.
Isn't that rather an unfortunate way of putting it? I think we can avoid that unpleasantness for the moment. Helen, would you mind relieving the sergeant of his wallet?
Careful, Sergeant. I'll throw caution to the winds in a minute.
That'll be very foolish of you.
And his fountain pen, please.
What are you going to do?
I spent a considerable period of my youth practicing the art of forgery or suffering the penalties for it. Helen, would you mind? I imagine we shall find an example of your handwriting on your identity card.
Mr. Busby. Got a new sorter on tonight?
Well?
Bloke along the train there says he's his brother. Asked me to give him this note.
Well, it's against regulations. Still, we'll let it go this time. You're still on that lot? Well, let me tell you, if everybody here worked at the speed you're going, this post will arrive in about 3 years' time. Here.
Talk about a nagger. I'll soon be at home with my wife. I've got to go along and see my sergeant. The letter I'm after is in the SW hole, number 20. It's addressed to Knight, 121 Wessex Street. Keep your eyes glued to it while I'm gone, will you?
Okay.
I'm a CID man. I wonder if you go in that next compartment and examine the tickets.
Certainly, sir. Tickets, please. Your tickets, sir, please.
I don't think I've got mine on me, Inspector. I think I'll come with you.
I think I've got yours, Edward.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
There you are, dear.
Who's in there?
Tall, bald-headed gentleman, sir. Looks rather pale.
Yeah, anybody else?
A well-dressed man with a long nose and a red-headed woman. Rather pretty.
Aha. Thank you very much.
Anything else I can do for you, sir?
No, not just now, thank you.
Very good, sir.
Excuse me.
What's he think he's doing?
The inspector's rather a long time. I hope for your sake, Sergeant, there's been no hitch.
Don't move. Good work, sir, good work.
Well, Dr. Calvert, I think you've had my credentials. Go on, watch him, Bingham. I'll be back in a moment. Yeah. And don't let this redhead try any more of her tricks.
Yes, sir. It's just an example of the way we work, you know. Now I'll have my fountain pen back.
Yeah, Corporal. Look out those two. It's what is known as a matter of national importance.
All right, Inspector. But I ain't a corporal.
Well, you will be. Come along, Bingham. I may need your help. So long, Doctor. See you later. Here, where's that registered letter?
Well, which registered letter?
The one that was in there.
Well, what do you want with it?
That's my business. What have you done with it?
You know, you accusing me of pinching it?
I'm asking you what you've done with it.
Well, I'm not going to be talked to like that by an extra man. I'm going to have this out with the head sorter. Well, Mr. Busby, you're daring me and accusing me of...
I should take it easy if I were you.
All right, fellas. We're from Scotland Yard. This is Inspector Hornleigh of the CID. Look out at him, will you? He's a 5th columnist.
Come on, out of it. little fella that never broadcast in the same place twice. And within 24 hours of laying my hands on the mystery transmitter, I had the whole organization behind bars.
Morning, Hornleigh.
What a bloke.
Still on the last chapter? Making the most of it, I suppose.
I am. Oh, I mentioned that you had some connection with the case.
Oh. You still haven't mentioned my connection with it.
Well, I haven't finished yet. In conclusion, I would like to pay tribute to a man without whose help I could never have achieved this coup. Mr. Tomboy, the postmaster of Upper Allingford.
Now, look here, Chief. I've given you the best years of my life.
Hello? Oh, morning, sir. Commissioner for you, bloke.
Morning, Chief. The Hornleigh's on the scrounging case, sir? Since when? Oh. What? Me at my age? That's right. Suppose I'll get a commission.
No, private.
Very good, sir.
And don't think this is a penny job, blow, old man. I mean, this isn't just a case of a few tins of strawberry jam.
No, it's costing the country $1,000 a year.
And here's a few clues to be going on with. 1 pair of gents' underpanties large size, 1 tin of pilchards, and 1 bar of carbolic soap.